So welcome back to Stage Talk, where we talk all things, all things stage, all things Q&A, anything you want to ask. We've got some interesting questions today, which is going to be fun to kind of answer. You keep getting like weird ones,
I get some
some
funny
weird
ones.
questions.
I send them over to Phoebe, and she's just like, "Okay, we'll get to some of these. Some of these are funny."
Yeah, so I'm like, that's fine, let's go. But we've got a fun lineup to talk about this week. So we'll kind of jump straight into it, if I'm honest, and just kind of get into it because we had Romania. I mean, there was quite a few shows. There's actually also a natural show
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on, and I've pulled up the natural girl who won because she looks really, really good. So we had, can you see my screen?
I can.
So we had the France
France.
natural show, and this was the girl who won it.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, that's a great
Really good,
shot.
like really good back shot. I think she also did, I want to say she also did another like a Fit Pride, the Fit Pride show, which was in Hungary, I think I want to say a
Mm-hmm.
couple weeks ago,
Yeah, yeah.
and she won that as well. So she's going to the Ben
Nice.
Weeder. So this will be an interesting one to kind of see. She's done quite a few of the European natural shows and won them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
got a great,
Yeah.
balance from top to bottom and stuff.
Yeah, good balance and just overall, just like the muscle sits on her right for her physique. Like that front pose might have looked a little forced in a sense, but I
Hmm.
think it's just her structure. She has big lats, but they don't overpower her lower, so it looks balanced. It's pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Such an impressive back shot though. Really, really
Those glutes are
cool.
crazy to be natural. Crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
crazy for anybody. That's a really good back pose. So
It's really like pleasing to look at as well. Like it just looks very, very clean.
yeah.
So, so yeah, congrats. She's going to Ben Weeder, which is cool. Um, then we have the San Diego Iron Games. So that was, where is that? So we had
This is a
Amy.
stellar lineup.
Yeah. I mean, Iron Games is always such a great show anyway, which is really cool.
Mhm.
But obviously the main one for me here was Megan, obviously in this with all the Olympians, which was
Yeah.
such a cool moment for her, of course.
Yep. All in all, I think Evie pushed Amy a little bit here when I was watching it. It like it to me, they were a clear top two. And
Hmm.
not to take anything away from Tara or anyone after second, but like Evie and Amy really looked neck and neck. I definitely had Amy winning it, but I don't think it was just like they came out and it was out. Yep, Amy won this as she does with some shows. Like she's one of the top competitors in the world for a reason. Evie looked really, really good here. I think that all in all, Amy took it because of the front pose this time around.
Hmm.
It's literally flawless. Like this was
Yeah.
one of Amy's best looks I've ever seen from the front.
Yeah. I think she looks like I know sometimes people say kind of her lower body looks a little dominant and sometimes she sits into that glute a little bit better, like too hard. I don't think she does that here at all. Like
Not
it
at all.
looks
That's
very,
one of the
very
main things I'm
balanced.
seeing. That planted foot, the straight leg is pretty close to dead on because she's turning it away from
Yeah.
that quad sweep, so it looks a little more streamlined through the leg, and you just get because she has such good glutes. Some girls wouldn't be able to do this because it would take away from the glute because they don't get
Mhm.
to sit into it much. But even being straight up and down like she is, she has such good glute dimension, and it she balanced out that leg a lot. And this is a really, really good pose.
Yeah. She looks like she's actually like almost like standing up. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's not really much sit. Like she's not, you can see obviously the difference. Again, they're different heights and obviously everyone poses differently and stuff, but you can see the difference with Evie and Amy. Like obviously Evie is pushing it, which,
Yeah,
some people do, most people do, if I'm honest. But you can really tell that Amy is standing up like a lot more.
yeah,
But it looks really, really good. Really good.
yeah.
And then you have Tara. Tara really looks like I think this was one of Tara's best looks. And again, they all came in better than the Olympia, I want to say. Evie and Amy especially, but then also Savannah and Tiana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
everyone
from
looked
what I
great.
noticed, everyone looks a lot
Is
better.
is Tara coached by her husband?
I think so.
Okay. I didn't know
I
if
think so.
I think I knew that, but I didn't know if he like does that as a like is that does he have a team or
Hmm.
because they always she always looks great. They always nail it.
Yeah. She
And
has a
I
team. They
always
have a
like it.
team.
Oh, do they? Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
I think
Okay.
so. Yeah, so I think she gets coached by her partner. And yeah, they look fantastic. I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes those relationships work very well. Sometimes because they see you every day. Like they
yeah,
see you every day, so they can say, okay, this is what we need to change, this is what we need to do. And it's if the partner has the knowledge to be able to do that and sees you every day, then it's kind of win-win situations, you know what I mean? But obviously that's not always the case for everyone, of course.
yeah.
Megan or Meg looked
Killed it.
insane.
Yeah.
So, so, so good.
There was going into this show, she kept getting like leading through the whole year and last year, she kept getting feedback about too dominant in this part of your glute, need more here, too hard here, reduce this here. She just has a very, and she's natural for those looking. So she has a very just naturally gifted, hard, muscular physique. And so to tone it down and bring it in properly for bikini and to just genetically have too dominant in this area, but need to grow specifically here. It's not an easy thing to do.
Mm.
And she was able to absolutely nail it this show. Her and her coach brought in that just, I think, perfect level of softness, streamlined bikini look. When we go to the back pose, it looks fantastic. And yeah, like you said in the beginning of this, she beat a couple Olympians. She's standing in
Mm.
the top 6 with all Olympians, literally all Olympians in this top 6.
Yeah.
So really, really solid.
Yeah. Really, really good. Yeah, she did
I
fantastic.
like
And like I said,
Savannah's look a lot here too.
and then where's the back shots?
These
Back
are all
shots
very
look
comparable back
fantastic.
shots. They're
Yeah.
everyone's very similar in the back pose here, other than Amy's like lengthened lower glutes and tie-ins that are just absolutely ridiculous. But
Amy's
outside of
back
that, very
shot looks probably the leanest I've seen it, if I want to say, unless it's just obviously the
yeah,
photos and stuff, but it's probably the leanest I've seen her back shot
yeah.
before.
I don't want to say it's really the photos because it's very, I mean, it's a typical muscle contest background. The lighting's very normal. It's nothing super dim or like goon lighting at all. Like this is, she just looks great. Like all of them
Mm.
look very, very proper from the back. This is a really good top 6.
Yeah.
Like it would
I
have been
really like
hard
this.
for it would have been hard for anyone coming into the show to break into this top 6. This is very,
Yeah.
very good.
We had a question last week, I think, on YouTube. And
Explaining
so yeah, explaining
all that.
the first, second, and third. So I wanted to see if you could explain that for them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube and you can see the picture, Amy's back pose. So one, just to throw it out there, like she's Amy, like she is going to go into most shows as the favorite to win the show. But when you are comparing back pose for back pose, and you look at this, you can see how just clean Amy's upper outer glute like sweep is and how round it is. There's no like slant that falls off. Everything's very proportionate that goes right down into her lower glutes, into her tie-ins where it connects with the hamstring. She's not overly conditioned where in T, sorry, I'm going to use you as an example here, but look at 6th place in Tiana down there. Her hamstrings are a little bit too much. You can see a little bit of etched out adductor, a little bit too much hamstring there, in my opinion. And then you go over to 1st place where Amy, you can see the muscle depth in shape to her adductors, to her hamstrings, but nothing's like super like grainy and etched out, which is what the judging states they want for the criteria for bikini. And you can see that similarly through everyone's hamstrings and adductors in that top 3 there. Nothing's too crazy and hard. And then you go over to 2nd place. Evie just has really dominant glutes, like dominant balance wise. Like she looks amazing and her glutes just pop. This is probably the fullest I've seen Evie's glutes look like ever. This is crazy popped her glutes here. In my opinion, at least, the reason that Amy wins the back pose is just the flow of the physique from the back. And I can't tell if I feel like, and you can answer this better, but if Evie's like kind of pushing too hard into the back,
I agree.
yeah, I think she's pushing a little bit too much and it's kind of throwing off a little bit there in terms of what we're seeing from the lower up, whereas Amy's upright a little bit more. She just poses better for what works for her from the back and everything flows tremendously. And
Mm.
if we're going to break down each person, I mean, Tara and Meg and Savannah all have very similar back shots. Like the back
Hmm.
poses here are very, very similar. The everything from the glute shape to the conditioning is very, very similar. So really it comes down to what did the judges see in person in terms of their preference of what meets the criteria. And then what we can never take away in photos that I want to put a big emphasis on is exactly what Tyler in the panel said from the Olympia why Maureen won, is the confidence and balance she presented on stage in her posing itself. So it's not just front pose, back pose.
Yeah.
There's a whole criteria that is aside from front and back pose, which is your core control in transitions, how you sit into the hip, how you turn, the walk. Everything matters because you're displaying pieces of your physique in every single step you take. So there's the walk to the back for a reason and keeping your glutes up and not letting them drop. And there's how you sit into your back pose. Do you sit too hard into your quads where you can see the sweet pop out or feather too much? So things that we can't take from photos that the judges are watching in person. But photo for photo, third, fourth, fifth have very, very similar back poses. They all look great.
Preach. Yeah, because someone asked, obviously, what's the difference? Can we explain like what's the difference between first, second, third, all that type of thing? So that's what Corey just did. But also like sometimes there's no like we obviously can only see what we see from photos if we didn't see the show and stuff like that. But like he said, like the judges see something completely different. So sometimes we might think, okay, yeah, this girl's got first, and she doesn't actually get first, and we're like, okay, cool, why is that? Like we don't know the reasonings behind that, but it's also whoever fits the criteria the best. That's the main thing. And that doesn't always mean the person who wins or the people within that kind of top five are the perfect fit. They still have, there's always people always have things to work on. Like you see the Olympia, they all had things to work on. But it's who fits that criteria best. So yeah.
And to just emphasize one more thing on Tiana there. So Tiana has a physique, and we're very good friends. So Tiana has a physique that I know her and Adam, her coach, play with, like, let's fill you out more this show. Let's go harder this show because she's young and she's been in the pro league for a couple years and they want to see, and this was, I believe, their first year together. They want to see what works best for her. And I think Tiana has said on her page before that she likes this type of look more, where she can pose it better and show it off better when she's slightly more conditioned rather than filled out and softer, which I totally agree with because I love, like, my personal bias and preference is to her back pose here because I personally like that little bit harder look. And depending on who's in the first call out with you, that can be in her favor because we have other athletes that will come in harder and do well just because it fits their physique better. Now, that doesn't mean, of course, like there's some automatic no-nos, like the glute striations when you're walking to the back and things like that. But you can be a little bit harder and just teeter that line and it work for your physique, just like how Maureen came in a little bit softer and a little bit fuller, and that leaned towards her physique. There's some people that can do that on the opposite end where they're a little bit harder, a little bit more etched out, a little bit more detail showing, and it works for them. And that's how Tiana qualified for the Olympia this year. So it can work for her. It also just depends on who's in the lineup. And you're talking about what, fourth and eighth in the world are in this lineup, right? So yeah.
Exactly. Oh, seventh. Yeah. So yeah,
seventh.
I feel like it's sometimes hard because when I've had that question before, like it's like, how do you fight what the criteria is and what your preference of what you like to be is as well? Like it's hard. And usually it comes down to conditioning or muscle mass, right? Like, oh, I like to be more muscular, but then that might not be like, it might be too muscular. Do you know what I mean? Like for the division that you're in, you know, being bikini, or it could be conditioning. So sometimes it is hard. And I do think that sometimes that's why people either move up or move down categories and stuff like that, because they're like, well, let's try and fit a preference that would look best on me, for example. So yeah, it's hard. It is hard though, because bikini could be a range of different things depending on what the judges want and stuff. And to be fair, I think Savannah and Tiana were 1 point apart. Yeah, they were 1 point apart. So it must have been like, obviously it was close. So, but everyone else was obviously 3, 6, 9, 12, 16. So moving on to the star of the show, or the show that is a top one show, a tier one show, where girls, if you get into top 5, you get higher points than any other points. So I think second place got 14 points. I think I want to say this. Oh, damn, I closed it. I think this one you got 4 points. So it's 10 points extra.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So obviously, for people that don't know, obviously the point system, there's five tier one shows that if you win, you get automatically qualified for 2026 for bikini and other categories. But if you get second through fifth, you get higher points. So obviously here, the Iron Games isn't a tier one show, so you get second place, you get 4 points, 3 points, 2 points, 1 point. But for this show, we got 14 points, 11 points, 9 points, 7 points, which is like, because obviously we'll have a look at the list in a second. Like the list is like so close, like it's like 1 point apart, like getting 11 points or 14 points, like that's a lot. So that's going to be cool to kind of see where everyone like falls on this. But we had Victoria
Yeah.
win this one, which we
Yep.
kind of knew. We kind of knew that was the
Yeah,
thing that was going
she's
to happen.
definitely the favorite going in. Alina and Carrie could definitely like they're both Olympians. They could push that, but Victoria looked amazing as
Yeah.
predicted. I mean, she's coming off of multiple first place wins throughout the year.
Yeah, she won three
And
this
then
year.
yeah, 3 shows this year, a second place to Jazzy, 15th at the Olympia. So definitely was the front runner leading into this and looked phenomenal as always.
Yeah. I had a question about this actually top two in general. So the top two look different front pose wise, but when we look at the back pose, like, oh my God, the back pose is like pretty crazy if I'm honest. So back pose, they look very similar and comparable, whereas the front pose, they look a little different.
Mhm.
Why do you think the girl who got second kind of compared well against Victoria? Because someone asked the question of like, what did you think of second and first place? The front pose looks quite different. That was the
Yeah,
question.
the front pose is very different. I also
Hmm.
wonder, like, I didn't watch this show live stream at all. I
I
almost
didn't
wonder
either.
how much she's actually set into that because obviously Carrie's not hitting her front pose here. She's hitting like a transition model pose. Looking at what she's presenting here, one thing that Victoria needs to bring up is her upper glutes in the front pose. That side projection
Hmm.
of that curvature that goes into just how dominant the projection is in that lower to mid glute. She has
Hmm.
a bit of that slant that needs to fill out. Whereas when you go and look at second place, she's a little bit more filled out in that pose. She has a little bit better of just a balanced glute, if you want to call it that. It's like fuller, rounder, not a better overall front pose, but that specific body part better. So in comparison in the front pose, I think that's what kind of put them in 1 and 2. But again, I think that Victoria was a very standout winner here. So I think
Hmm.
everyone else was fighting for second through sixth here.
Yeah, that's true. I think I agree, if I'm honest on that front. I think for what's this girl's name?
Alina?
Alina, that's how you pronounce it. So I think Alina, if she was to, it looks like she is sat into her glute a lot, and that's taking away the balance a little bit from her upper body from
Mm-hmm.
being.
Yeah.
She has a good like development in her upper body, but I don't think she, from this shot, from what I can see, is showing off as much as she probably needs to compared to Victoria. So if she was to try and obviously figure that out and kind of stand up, open up the chest a little bit more, kind of open up
Mm-hmm.
the upper body more, I do think that she would be nicely comparable because the back pose is is pretty insane like next to Victoria.
Very,
She's actually
very.
it's not I think Victoria has a little bit better balance here, but I do think fullness wise and like development detail, she has a little bit more than Victoria. So she's pushing her in the back pose, I think, a little. I think the front pose was
100%,
probably
100% agree. Yeah. And Carrie in third, I think has the best back pose out of those three, in my
yeah,
opinion.
I think
Like
I agree.
her glutes are the most complete up there. The upper outer glute sweep, the projection, none of them have like crazy length and tie-ins. So that
Yeah.
kind of goes out the window here when I'm looking at it. But just in the glute development, in fullness, in projection itself, Carrie has the best back pose here. She's standing second and third are both standing a little bit wide in their feet. I feel like, especially second. I think she could have looked even more dominant from the back if she wasn't like off center like that, how she is
Yeah.
in her stance. But I think Carrie has an incredible back pose. I watched her
Yeah.
compete at Sasquatch about a month or 2 months ago, and I remember seeing that. I was like, yeah, she's really, really good from the back. If she can bring up the balance in her front pose and add a little bit to it, she can do really well.
Yeah, I no, I agree. I really like, I think the way she also performs it and hits it, like her upper body, you can see a little bit more than the others as well. Like you see the development more. So it just overall gives a bit more better balance. So,
Yeah,
and I think it was, same again, fifth
369.
and
Three
sixth
six
are
nine
one
12
point,
16. Yeah, yeah, 1 point there.
are 1 point apart again. So same as the previous show as well.
Yeah.
So, and that
You
was
know what's
Raina.
interesting to think about with this, and it's not really off topic, but kind of the points here. So
Mhm.
14 points for second place here. Obviously, time will tell for next year, but 14 points in this one show might qualify her. Like
Yeah.
she could be that like 25th person on that list.
Well, I
Because
don't
when
think, sorry to cut you off. I don't think so. Because I saw the list. Haven't seen where her name is because I don't know if she's placed yet. But I know Kerry wasn't on the list. Now she's like halfway up the list
yeah, yeah.
from 11 points.
Yep.
So this
And
is
of course
really
it's gonna
cool.
matter who competes a lot in, but the thing is that people have to get consecutive placings. Like
Hmm.
we see second place go and get eighth place all the time.
Yeah.
We see ninth place jump to third. So there are those consecutive people that you just know are those like top five girls, kind of no matter what show they do. But some of them will win two shows and be off the list. So a 14th, a 14 point, along with, I'm assuming she's going to continue to do a couple international shows, be in that top five, like even getting like a 1 point here and there. Like this show alone, I think will push her up a lot.
Because where is she here?
Very top, third from the top with 14.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you
that's
go.
crazy. Yep.
Yeah, she's
And
third
one person above her already has a win.
and
And one,
below.
two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 girls below her have wins.
That's
So if
crazy.
they all win one more show, like she's at the very top of that list. And with really, and then you're bumping up everyone that has like 4 and 5 points back up because all those names would be off the list. So everyone
And
that we don't see on there.
And also, I feel like obviously any shows now until New York and Pittsburgh, there's not going to be that massive jump
Yeah.
anymore. So there's only obviously the tier two shows. So you'll only maximum get 4 points. So you'll
Yep.
only really go up like very, like no one could really, well, obviously you could go up
A
10
win.
points.
Yeah.
A win will go up 10 points, but obviously most of the time, like that, if you've won one show, you'll probably going to win another, most
Yes.
likely, I would have thought.
100%.
But
100%. Like Yulia's on the list with 7 points right now. Yulia usually wins one or two shows a year. So she will likely go and win a show, bump herself up to 17 points. And then if she doesn't win another show, she is a very consecutive second through fifth place competitor. So she will continue on the rise. Like she's not
mm,
someone who's going to miss the Olympia points or regardless. So, but I'm very interested to see. Tell me your thoughts on this because I feel like internationally, we see a lot of competitors that first through fifth is like use like Allison Tetsu, for example. She gets first through fifth all the time internationally.
mhm,
She jumps between those all the time. And a lot of the international competitors do because they flip-flop so much. First, second, second, third. You usually have the same like first call out pretty often, but they always
mhm.
flip-flop. I think we're going to see next year a lot more international girls on the Olympia stage because of how the point system is, and because a lot
Yeah,
of them will not win two shows, but they will stack the points list like crazy.
yeah. No, I agree because I do think that it it always depends sometimes on like the competitor because again it's a case of who they're then in a lineup with as well. And I do think
Mm-hmm.
the people that you see obviously doing a lot of shows that get a lot fifth, second, all those types of things, you'll see them kind of come out of the top five in the top five and stuff like that as well. But then also like you'll see them win a show like in the right lineup. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it just depends. Sometimes there's people like Amy, for example, we know like you're like, yeah, she could probably go into most shows and probably do very well, right?
Yeah.
And then there's some people that are in the top five, but we could be like, well, they could win, but they also could be fifth, you know? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested to
Yeah.
see because there's going to be a lot more different ranges, and already like on this points list, you've got a loads of different people from
Oh yeah,
Europe.
yeah.
Actually,
Now, of
more
course,
Europe than
there's only been a few
US.
U.S. shows since this
Yeah,
point system enacted, so that's like take it with a grain of salt there. But I think going like this is the fun part of this is speculation right now because we don't know until once we get past like Pittsburgh next year, we'll have a pretty good point standings list because you're talking having Charlotte Pro, New York Pro, the Arnold, Pittsburgh, all those shows
oh, the
clash
Arnold as well.
leading up to that to where Pittsburgh is in that May timeframe. And so we're going to have a lot of US shows under the belt, as well as whatever international shows happen through that 5 month time frame. So I think Pittsburgh, when that happens, we're going to see a big, like what we see on the 25 points, we're going to start seeing those head to head people fighting to
Yeah,
knock each other off.
yeah. Which, by the way, Pittsburgh is well, New York is going to be 1 week before Pittsburgh now.
Oh,
If you, I don't
okay.
know
Well,
if you
wait,
saw that
New York is 1 week before. Okay. That's
before. So
cool.
they announced it. So the 8th and 9th,
Okay.
New York, and then where's Pittsburgh? And then Pittsburgh is the following weekend after that. Just as a
Awesome.
little, I don't know when they announced that, but I think that's going to be they always do kind of it. Well, not always. They haven't always done it like back to back, but the last 2 years they've done it back to back, which makes so much more sense because then people can just kind of go straight into it.
Oh yeah.
Especially people that are international as well, and they will have a fit muscle category
Awesome.
for pro, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more pro shows get announced that are going to have fit model. It's cool.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, this was the lineup of Romania. I think this was the first call outs.
Yeah, and you
5,
can see a
6,
lot there
7,
where
8.
Victoria
Yeah,
stands out in her front pose. Like it's
yeah,
phenomenal. But like you said, in the back pose, you can see a little bit of that disparity where if it was back pose judging only, Victoria might have been like it might have been tight for first
so
place
this
there,
is
but
what I
her
said
front
to
pose
you.
carries her.
So this is what I said to you. I was like, it can't be a glute competition though. People have to remember that
Mm-hmm.
because like I say, like out of this top three, or top five, are Victoria's glutes the best? Yes, but also they could be pushing other people's, right? Like, other
Yeah,
people could be pushing her, but also at the same time, it's not a glute competition. I think people
yeah.
always forget that
She has
because
the best
obviously it's the main
presentation of her
thing.
back pose there. How she is posing that with the hands are a little bit more down than everyone else, and it's
Yeah,
creating more of that hourglass and
balance.
more of that shape and balance in her back pose. Whereas you can see a couple of the other girls next to her are really pushing back, and you can see that it's very glute dominant looking in the back, but not necessarily balanced. Whereas head to toe, Victoria looks flawless.
Yeah. Very, very balanced. And that's what we always have to remember. Because I know us bikini girls, we love to be obsessed with glutes. And like that is obviously a large portion of the whole category, of course, but it has to fit everything else as well. It has to flow everything else. Like if you're just sitting into your glutes, because I have a few girls that are the same with posing and stuff like that. They're like, do I need to sit into my glutes loads like more? And I'm like, if it's going to take away from your upper body, your shape, your balance from the back pose, no. You can sit into the glutes. Of course, you need to. Like you
Mm-hmm.
need to arch into them, but it needs to make sure that you're not overdoing it anywhere else, or
Yeah.
taking away from anywhere else. Okay, so this is Brazil. I literally just found this, which was
Oh,
good
awesome.
timing. So this was, how do we say this name?
I do not know, and I don't want to guess.
We're
Bruna. Oh,
all,
is it
yeah, we're
Bruna?
all, yeah.
Oh, Bruna. Okay, Bruna.
Bruna won. I think she's won a few shows before. Oh no, this was the show that she won. So this was the show that she won. Oh, yeah. She
Yeah. Oh,
looks
yeah. It was a
incredible.
muscle contest over there. That's right. Yeah. 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 She
There's
looked
no
great.
other.
No other
This
pictures.
was this was another show that she won. Is she? Oh no, she got top two. Sorry, I was like, is she
Mm.
qualified? This was second place. This is a
That's a
big
cool
trophy for
trophy for
second place.
second. I was going to say the
Yeah,
same
I
thing.
was like, did
That's a
she
huge
win
trophy for
this?
second.
I was like, did she win this? Because I think it's a top two. So yeah, that must be second place. So, but there's no like photos of her. Oh, here we go.
Conditions on point.
Really good shot.
I think we took a look at her on our last podcast and went to her page when we were talking about the competitors in the
Yeah,
show. I
I think
remember
so.
seeing some of this.
Yeah, she does look
Yeah,
really good.
looks great.
Good presentation. I don't know about the others.
Nevea has done
Nevaeh.
really well a couple times. Yep.
Yeah, you
She
said
has
we looked
a
at Nevaeh before.
yeah, I think she's the one that got second place at Southern Muscle. So
Yeah.
she has she has some good placings out of her belt already this season.
Luciana, I think she did the Olympia this year. Did she do the Olympia this year? No, she didn't do the
Not
Olympia this year.
positive.
Yes, she did. She did do the Olympia this year. Oh no,
Oh,
it's a
okay.
throwback. But I think we mentioned her before, and I think she has a really good balance from top to bottom. It just depends on what the kind of everyone looked like. She got second, so and then Nevaeh got third. Again, I'm just trying to have a look and see comparable physiques, like as to why they would have, been placed where they are. Can't really see much else though. This is always the hard part is finding like all the footage and things from the show. I think this was a little bit part of the show, but again, you can't really see them much. But again, we know that they have very good physiques. Obviously, they placed in that kind of top
Yeah.
five range.
If you guys go on the Pro Bikini News page on John's page, like if there aren't show photos on there, stage photos on there, there probably weren't very many because he
Yeah,
is one of the first people to get that shit out. So
yeah, every single time. And then was that everyone? No, Hawaii. We
Hawaii.
had Hawaii. Again, I couldn't find any photos from Hawaii.
There's not a
Obviously,
whole
just
lot, and the
no.
live stream was kind of rough at that angle. They literally
Oh
put on like the
yeah,
front left corner of a seat or something, and it was a weird angle to watch.
yeah, that was a really weird. I don't know why they would have put that angle like that instead of front on, but obviously,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Um,
Yurika,
but
definitely the front runner going into this, as we touched on, and she looked great.
yeah, she looked incredible. I think this is the best she
Second or
looked.
third, this is like the second or third time she's won this show. It's her show for sure.
Oh, really? Because I know she's won it.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's good though.
I saw her in person there. The only reason she didn't win it like 3 years ago is Ashley Kay went and won it, and Yurika didn't end up
Ah,
winning that one. But
that
since then, I think she's won it each year.
yeah, because I think there's this one as well. Oh no, that was 2 days ago. Trying to see if
Yeah,
there's
she looked
any.
awesome. Yurika has very good, just balanced her physique and has great shape for the structure that she has. And I like her physique a lot. Good glutes in the back pose.
Hmm. I can't
We
find
don't have very many
any.
photos to go off
No,
of. Yeah,
I feel bad.
unless one of the girls posted like actual stage photos, we don't have many from the show
No,
itself.
no.
And the NPC news page, it's the only one from this is the only show from the weekend where even stage photos aren't out yet, like of individual. So
Ah, yeah. So that's a shame.
yeah.
But congrats. Obviously, she's now got
Yes.
one more to go
One
until.
more to
So
go.
it will be cool to see. Is she going to do another one this year? Is she going to wait? Like, there's still US shows. There's still shows to do. So
Yeah.
it would be smart for her to just go in and just do it.
Yeah.
So those are all the shows from this weekend. We now have.
Kansas City and Atlantic.
We have two US shows this weekend,
Yep. Yep.
actually.
Atlantic Coast is stacked. Okay, first of all, that whole show. Did you click that really quick? Click. Tell me you scrolled through these lists.
Let
This
me
has to
get
be
the
one of
actual
the.
list
This
up.
has to be one of the biggest pro shows in the history of pro shows.
Atlantic Coast.
Yes, like a not no not just that. No, go to the pro schedule tab and click Atlantic Coast and click the
What is in
schedule
like
one here.
the actual schedule, like the competitors list?
Click the competitor list. Okay, so wait till you get to the women's for all the women's divisions. This show, they okay, classic physique is huge. First of
Oh
all,
wow. Yeah.
yeah, and they have masters. Men's physique
Oh my
is
God.
huge. Men's physique is enormous.
I have
Wait
to
till you see
double.
figure. The competitors are showing out this weekend. This is gonna be a long show. Look at figure.
Oh my God.
Is that ridiculous?
Wow. That's a lot
Yeah,
of people.
a lot of people to get
Holy
through
shit.
this weekend.
Who's
Even
judging this
40
week?
plus. Tyler's head judging that show.
Oh, good luck,
Have fun,
Tyler.
Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then bikini showed up. It's great.
Yeah.
Figure like almost doubled
That's a
bikini in this. It's just such a
that's a
huge show. It's
long
crazy.
that's
It's a
a
long
long
day.
lineup.
It's a
That's a
long
long
day.
lineup. But that's a really even women's physique, you can see. Yeah, women's physique
Yeah.
is long.
Yep.
That's
It's
good
really cool.
though.
Really cool to
That's
see. I
really
love that.
good.
Yeah. That's like
That's
three. I
really
saw a
good.
post. It was like almost 300 total pro competitors, which is insane.
Wow, that is crazy. That's crazy. Okay. So we've got a battle
This is
of
a good. This is
Maria.
like this is like San Diego last week in terms of like
Yeah.
the quality. It's really good.
We've got a battle between who's going to win of obviously who gets the 2026 qualifications. You've got Maria Acosta and then we've got Cass.
Yep.
So that'll be really cool. They're very comparable again.
Yes.
So
Yeah, they are. They are.
that'll
We got
be an interesting
some
one.
immediate standout names on here comparable. I think that Jess is going to be very comparable to Maria. They have
Hmm.
very similar structures, very. Cass is up there with them. I think Cass is a little bit shoulder dominant, shoulder heavy,
Hmm.
just a little bit, especially with just how good Maria is. I think Jess will be fairly comparable to Maria. Yulia's always in the mix. And just going down the list, you have Brittany Hamilton, who's always in the mix. Ashley Hampton's in there again, coming off of a couple top 5 placings already.
Hmm.
And she was like center of third callouts at the Olympia. So I know that's technically not scored really, like placing
No, but
wise. But
that's still
when
very
you look at
good.
when you do math and just count people, she's like 20th. So you're talking
Yeah.
like a top 20 person at the Olympia there. You have Jess on there. China had a really good showing at the world class show back in
Hmm.
June this year. So it's a very, very good lineup. I'm excited to see this show.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Again,
And then
because
Lauren
there's
Adams just did she just do Hawaii? I think she did she place there? She might
this is
have.
the thing.
She just had a really good show.
I didn't know who placed in Hawaii at all. Because I literally haven't seen the lineup at all. So I'm not too sure. I don't know if she
Yeah, I know
placed or not.
she had a good showing. I just don't remember if she got top 5, but she looked
I
really good.
love the little headbands on this. This makes me want to do like cool shows like Hawaii because like these headbands are
Yeah.
so cute. Yeah, I'm not too sure where she plays, but I think she got first call outs potentially. Um, but yeah, good lineup. Very good lineup.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I think that so I had Ashley get with opposing coach,
Hmm.
and that's been her only critique every show, the last 2 shows, is work on this with your front pose, work on this with your back pose. And so Jordan Fisher is posing her right now, and the
Mm.
side by side I got of her back pose change within 5 minutes is absolutely unreal. So I'm hoping that she climbs the ladder a little bit in terms of being
Hmm.
like a consistent 4th, 5th place to really pushing up there with with Maria, who's the likely favorite here. I think that it's going to take Ashley it's going to take Ashley up a notch with how much it's improved. So
Yeah.
excited to see that. And then I'm always excited to see Yulia on stage because she can go from anywhere from 5th place to winning a show depending on the day. So
We love that. I mean, that again, posing, we've been taught this or we've been told this multiple times. Posing can change everything. Like it really
yeah,
can. So if she's already seeing really good progress from now and she can get that consistent on stage, like there's no reason why she can't get into
yeah,
that top kind of top 2 winning position
yeah.
moving forwards and stuff, which is cool.
And Jess just posted her check-ins today. Her number one critique after Olympia was tighten the waist and core a bit more, just to make the
Hmm.
top to bottom look more hourglass, more S curve. And she just posted that today, and it's her best look by a mile.
Wow.
She's very on point right now. Very, very, very.
Wow.
Yep, the balance is all there. The shoulder to lat to hip to glute
Yeah.
projection, everything looks how it should. Now, of course, this is going to be dependent who is she standing next to,
Yeah.
obviously for how it looks, but by herself, this is her best look thus far. And Tyler's judging, and so he gave her the win in Toronto this year that qualified her for the
Mm.
Olympia.
Nice.
So hoping that he sees the improvements that she has made through the year, and that does her a solid. So
Yeah. She looks fantastic. Like
yeah,
so good.
there's nothing lacking is the thing with her physique. Like nothing can be added to this anymore. It's literally like the most minute details of let's bring your waist in just as much as we possibly can type of thing. So
Hmm. And then we've got on the other spectrum, we have Kansas, who that is very small, interestingly.
yes.
But we have Amy in here, which was a surprise. I
Yeah.
sent it to you and I was like, Amy's doing this show. Um,
Yeah.
so that was a surprise because again, no one knew obviously she was gonna kind of do San Diego previously before. No one knew she was kind of doing this. Um, and I feel like she's obviously, she's qualified already. I feel like she's doing something here. I feel like she wants to, I don't know. I feel like she's doing something. She wants it to be legendary because I saw her post the other day and she kind of captioned like she knows what she wants now. And
Hmm.
she's seen it and she's kind of pursuing it. And in my head, I'm kind of like, what is she up to? Because I feel like she's up to something and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested to kind of see.
Ashley needs to get back on the horse. Amy's going to come up soon.
I
So
mean, this is me speculating, by the way, that this isn't me like saying this is true, but I think she could be pushing Ashley for like the most wins. I feel like, I don't know, it could
Amy's pretty
be.
young too, right? How old is Amy?
I
29, 30.
I want to say
I
29,
think.
yeah, maybe
I
28,
think.
29.
Yeah. So I mean, she looks healthy. She looks great. Like she wins pretty much every show she does. She very well could do that for the next 5, 6 years straight. And there's nothing on her physique that is flawed in any way. It's just that little bit of refinement here. Like you were 95% at this show, and then we saw it like San Diego, she fucking nailed it. And even her at 90, 95%, when maybe they come in a little too soft or glutes weren't as projecting, she still wins the shows. Like she just has
Yeah.
that look to her where there is no reason that she can't go and win 40 more shows. Like
Yeah.
over a span of 5, 6 years, very doable.
Because how
So
many shows has she actually won? I
she's in
don't
double digits, I'm
know.
pretty sure. I'm
Yeah, she
99%
must
sure.
be.
Because just thinking of the last 2 years, I can name 6 shows that she's won, 5 or 6 shows that she's won.
Well, she's
Six.
won obviously
Yeah.
New York and Pittsburgh with the last 3 years in a row, both of them.
Oh, is it
Uh,
3 years in a row?
no, it might have been 2 years. I
Two
feel
years.
like,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
it 2 years? Okay. Because
It
I
might
feel
be
like
three.
she did,
I know for sure 2 years. Yes.
I
That's
know it's
four
definitely
right
two
there.
years.
She won Wasatch last year. She won whatever show it was prior to like post Olympia, prior to this show that we just
Mm.
watched. Why am I
She's
blanking
won
on
two
that?
already.
The East Coast Pro, she just won. And so she's won 2 already post Olympia. She will likely go and win Kansas City. So we just named 9 shows right there over the last 2 years. And that's just off the top of our head. There's more
Not,
shows than
yeah.
that. So
I have no doubt she could be pushing it for sure.
yeah, 100%.
100%. That's what I feel. Amy, let us know. I want to know. Like
Yeah,
what are you up to?
please. Amy, come on the podcast, talk shit with us.
Yeah, I want to know.
So after
Um,
Amy on here,
yeah.
I like this a lot. I mean, Masa and Lana are definitely the two that your eyes will be drawn to just based
Hmm.
on portfolio and resume and like who they are as competitors consistently. They consistently place within that top 10 at any show. Masa got as high as second a few weeks ago
Yeah, I
at
know.
the
I want to try and find
Florida
it.
Pro, I think it was. So they're
Yeah.
I'm curious if Lana's doing Ben Weeder, knowing that she's obviously doing this show and is in competitive shape with Ben Weeder
Mm.
only a couple weeks away.
I think
Oh, it
this
was
is
Hurricane. Is it Hurricane she got second?
no, 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 no. This was when she
Okay.
got. Oh no, Daytona. She placed second.
Daytona. Okay, there's so many
Daytona.
Florida
She
Pro
placed
shows.
second. Yeah, Daytona. She placed second. Um, I think. Masters like so I actually think Master is the tallest IFBB Bikini Pro out of
I think
everyone, I want
so.
to say.
Well,
You
Kimber's probably
want to
taller, but
get
yeah, I think
Oh
Kimber's
yeah,
the only taller
yeah,
one.
maybe actually.
But yeah,
But I think it's it's always very hard because I think she struggles between being too lean and then or being too full. Like trying to
yeah.
find that middle. And that's what I always used to get as well. Like with being a taller competitor, like
Hmm.
yes, you need that conditioning to kind of see the details and stuff, but it's then very easy to go stringy. And then you fill out too much,
Yeah.
especially being next to shorter competitors, you then look too big. So
Yep.
it's very difficult to kind of find like do that. I think Master is finding that now because obviously Master was someone who took quite a good amount of time off competing and she came back last year, this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last year.
So and she's been obviously finding the right looks, and you'll see it in some of the bikini shows where she's gotten second, some she's haven't placed. So it's again, you see that kind of up and down with bikini because it's trying to find the right people
Yeah.
that she needs to stand next to, the right look for her, and all that type of thing. I think she definitely nailed it in Daytona for sure. She was very, very close. Because who won that?
Daytona.
Yeah.
Um, I'm
I
blanking
can't
on who won
remember.
Daytona. Yeah.
I can't remember. But
I usually remember these things, but you and
yeah,
I flipped our times right now. My fault, but it is
I
fate right
know.
now, so I'm not going to remember.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. So I think that's always the hardest part with being a taller competitor. I mean, it just in a competitor in general is just try and find that balance between both of them and what looks good on you. So I think Martha is finding that now and she's fine tuning it. And I think this will be a cool one to see her next to Amy.
Yeah.
Because Amy is a little bit more muscular, kind of similar, not similar to Massa, but Massa has muscle. So yeah, it'll be cool to see kind of what they look like next to
Yeah.
each other. And then
And
you
just to touch
have,
on, but oh
oh,
yeah,
you go.
well, I was gonna say just to touch on really quick for your tall girl comments. It's for everyone listening. It is. I want to say it's easier versus harder for short or tall. It's just so different when an athlete is developing and in off season building, and then when you're talking about prepping and peaking, and you're taller, like 5'6", 5'7" plus. Um, Going stringy in like your limbs and looking stringy, glutes coming flat happens a lot easier because the way that you are filling out can either be too over the top or it can be not enough because you have so much more volume that you have to your physique. So
Hmm.
to find that sweet spot is a lot more narrow of a window than it is to be able to play with someone who may not need as much, because obviously the amount of calories you're intaking is different based on body weight, and body weight is completely different based on your height. It's somewhat like when you're looking at an Ashlyn or a Maria who's coming in, I believe at like 105 pounds, roughly 107 pounds, versus some of
Hmm.
these girls getting on stage at 5'7" plus that come in at 120, 130 plus. There's a big difference
Bro,
in.
I'm almost 140 on stage.
Yeah, exactly. So you're talking almost a 40-pound difference just because of
Yeah.
height. And that plays such a huge role in the volume of muscle that needs to fill
Hmm.
out. So there's a lot less room for error to, because you have that coming up in calories, in carbs, in fats, however the coach is choosing to load someone and fill them out. And it is harder to reach that threshold, but also the second that you go over that threshold and go too far and load too much and you soften them up too much or they become watery, it's easier to go over as well. So it's harder to
Hmm.
get there and it's easier to spill over. So it's harder when you are a taller competitor to completely peak properly, as well as obviously the time in the gym for the density over the years.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So thank you for explaining that.
yeah,
Um, and then we have
Lana.
Lana.
Lana always has just a very pretty physique to her. Like she never really misses at all. It's just dependent on who she's next to, where she's one of those that I feel like she fits bikini really well. She's very streamlined bikini. Nothing's like a crazy wow factor to me. Like I don't look at her and I go, hands down winner. But she can definitely push the wins it shows. Like she just has
Hmm.
nothing necessarily wrong on her physique, but nothing that's a crazy standout. I think her and
Yeah.
Massa next to each other will be really good, actually.
Yeah, they would be a good match to be fair. But yeah, it'd be cool to see this. It's a smaller show, yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's a it's gonna be a good show. And then we've got Steph. She did Iron Games.
Catherine and Steph have both been top five a couple times. I think they haven't gotten a win under their belt, but
Hmm.
they've pushed. I think Steph has been as high as fourth. Steph, don't quote me. I literally trained Steph in person and she's gonna
Yeah.
smack me.
You're like,
But
this is Catherine though. This is
yeah, yeah.
Catherine. Catherine? Not Catherine. Yeah.
Catherine Kavanaugh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Did she just do
then
Iron Games? Was that this past weekend?
yeah, that was this past weekend.
Oh, okay.
That was
No,
this
she
past
looks good.
weekend.
Yeah, in her front pose, a little bit more glute pop there, but the overall, she looks really good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then we've got Steph.
Yep.
This was
Steph
at
just
East
came off.
Coast.
She had a pretty good placing 2 weeks ago. East Coast Pro. Yeah, East Coast Pro. She had a pretty good placing. I think she got seventh or eighth here, and it was a
Hmm.
fairly sized show. So she was very happy with that. Didn't do as well placing wise going into San Diego, but of course we saw the lineup at San Diego was literally just stacked with Olympians left and
Yeah.
right. So I'm hoping to come into Kansas City and she can get some points on the board.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
So yeah. So and then I think that's everyone, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's all the
Yeah, yeah, that
shows.
was everyone. That was both the shows this weekend. For those
Exciting.
listening
Okay.
too, when you do the Q and A's, or even if you just want to comment or DM one of us, let us know some people that you might want us to interview or bring on for like a 30-minute segment of our hour and a
Yeah.
half we usually do or whatever. And we'll bring people on, highlight someone that just turned pro recently and has a really good physique, or someone making their pro debut, or whoever it may be, someone you just want to hear from. So I'd be happy to reach out and get them on.
Someone did message and say about can you like look up kind of like, competitor amateur competitors, people that win the first pro
Mm.
like pro cards and stuff like that. So that would be, I mean, I'm definitely down for doing something like that, but
Yeah.
we'll have to have a look a little bit more in depth
Yeah.
for that. But there was a girl that
Ben had a
won
girl win this week. Oh yeah, this past weekend.
literally
Yeah,
the
Ben had a
exact
girl
same
that won
brain.
Jamaica, Bahamas, whatever one that
The
was.
Caribbean, I think, yeah.
Caribbean. Yeah, yeah, that one. Yeah. Yeah, she looked really good. I only saw like some results photos after. Like I didn't really see stage shots, but I was like conditioning, glutes, like hitting your typical award pose at the with the backdrop after the show. I'm like,
Mm,
she looked good in her front pose there. I bet the stage photos look awesome. So
yeah,
congrats to her and her coach. That was a great win. And I
yeah.
think that's an overall only. That's a one pro card for that show. So really good win.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so into the Q&A. So, first question is, how long do you and Phoebe see yourself staying in the industry? How long do you see yourself in this industry for?
Um, Doing what I'm doing right now, I don't think I can go past like my 40s.
Hmm.
Like I'm 32
Okay.
and I could totally see what I'm doing right now for another 12 to 15 years. I could see myself being around 45 years old and still doing training programming, being as well versed as I am and gaining more experience in bikini, fit model, wellness, etc. But I don't necessarily see myself after that still marketing myself that much as a trainer. I probably won't just all
Yeah.
of a sudden just one day be like, I'm dropping everyone, I'm done training people.
Yeah.
But I could see myself doing less marketing, like less stories and stuff like that when I hit my 40s. But as far as being in the industry, I mean, Phoebe and I have both talked like to each other off air about wanting to take what we're doing now further in the industry. Like we talked about commentating shows, and maybe one day, like how Fuad and Janet were both the commentators for the Arnold last year. Like that would be cool to eventually get into doing and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that can be a short term and long term goal, and that would keep me in the industry for 20 plus years. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me, I think competing wise, I've never seen myself competing longer than 35. I don't know why. And that's nothing against anyone else, but I think for me, I'm like, I don't see myself going past that because of other things that I'd want to then prioritize. Like I'd want to have like a family. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't not compete after I've had like a child or something like that, but I would want this chapter of my life to be done. Like I would want to complete it, be like fully happy. Like I've, completed all the goals, done all the things that I'd want to do, and then move on. And not move on from bodybuilding. That's just from competing, but then my job still be very much within the industry, but in a different format. Like you said, like kind of like I'd want to do commentating for shows. Who knows? Maybe actually like do a promotion, like be a promoter for a
mhm.
show. Like it will be a different form of life, but as a competitor, I would say I'm not going to put a time on it because again, things change all the time. Like I didn't know I was going to take 2 years off stage. Like I could then be on stage until 30 plus. Like because I'm 30 now and I'm 31 next year, so I could be going for a lot longer than I think. But I personally know I probably once I have kids, I would probably be like, right, that will be my retirement type vibe for
Yeah,
athletes. But same with me, like I want to go out there and do more seminars. I want to go out there and be more
yeah,
present. I want to go and meet a lot more people. I want to do as much as I can to help the industry. So the question obviously was the industry. So I feel like it's not just competing, but like the actual industry itself. I could probably, for me, what I'm doing, like posing and stuff like that, I could probably keep going until, same with you, like 40 plus,
yeah.
and be out there like doing like involved in a lot more things. So yeah, I see myself in the industry for a lot longer. Competing though, for me, it has a time frame. There's a bit of a time limit for that one.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's when we come up with Stage Talk Productions and start hosting
yes.
shows all over the world.
Ah, oh my God, stop. Because I would literally, I'll get my pen and paper out and be like, right, let's do this, let's do that. So,
Yeah, we just
okay.
message Tyler right now. Hey, we have an idea.
Yeah, we could we put on a show, you know? So, um, yeah, the question that you got, would you rather be able to run 100 miles without getting tired or fly 10 miles?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like to me, it's a no brainer. I'm running 100 miles an hour. If I'm not
Yeah.
getting tired, like I'm getting places that fast, no traffic, just going 100 miles an hour. Who wants to fly for 10
Also
miles per
flying,
hour?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
just
that's
hovering, just
boring as
like barely
fuck.
floating through the sky at 10 miles an hour. Like that's like a fast jogging pace. I'm gonna go float to the gym for 3 hours. Okay.
You're like, no, I'd rather be like speed, you know, like the
Yeah.
superhero. I'd rather be able to run
Yeah.
as fast as I can. So, but I also love the fact that we're actually getting asked these questions. They're so fucking weird.
That one cracked me up. When I got a couple would you rather's, I was like, oh yeah, here they come. People are getting
Yeah,
into this now.
yeah. The next one is,
They're like,
would
let's
you
see more. They're like,
rather?
let's see more personality.
Yeah, literally. The next one is, would you rather feel constantly sticky or itchy? Oh, I don't
This
know.
one's so hard. When I sent this to you and read this, I was like, are you joking? I don't know.
I
I
hate being
I'm gonna let you go
itchy.
first. You go first.
I hate being like, or even thinking about it makes me like itchy and it's pissing me off. But like, I feel I don't like when when you get like a mosquito bite and like it's just itchy. That's my like
And you
worst
know
thing. I
you're not supposed to itch this,
really,
you just start smacking yourself.
and it just doesn't, it's so, yes, exactly that. It's so annoying. So I hate being itchy. But like sticky, I mean, like, when you get sticky from like sweating and stuff like that, like,
I hate that feeling.
yeah, I feel like, but I also feel like because you're a larger human, because you're a male, and obviously however tall as well, I feel like that's more irritating for you. Whereas me, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't mind, like, not saying I would do that or I wouldn't want to be like that all the time, but I could definitely do a class and be like sticky from sweat and like it'd be like
Yeah.
fine, like a hit class or something like
Yeah.
that, and I'd be all right. But
You'll just go do another vintage photo shoot.
yeah, literally, literally to anyone that
Those
has seen
pictures
like
were great,
vintage
by the
photo,
way. That was so
they're
cool.
so
Go
sick.
look at
They're
Phoebe's
so
page and
sick.
look at those photos. Those are so sick. I'm
So
torn on that because it's like if I'm thinking of if it's sweaty, sticky, I don't like it. But I feel like itchy would be worse. But when I think of sticky, also, I'm also thinking of like sticky,
honey,
like I'm putting my hands. Yes, like if I'm
yeah,
touching something, does it feel sticky when I pull my hands off? Like
yeah,
what sticky are we talking about? Because that would ruin that would ruin my day. The
yeah, that would piss
itchiness,
me off.
but you can also think like usually when you have an itch, you can like itch and get rid of it. If it's constant itchiness, that would drive me through a wall. Like I
That's
think
what I
anybody would go
mean.
insane.
That's what I
So
mean. Comment down
yeah,
below
that's
what you
tough.
would rather be.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
The more
sticky. I
the
feel like I could lay still and go to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep if I was itchy.
Yeah.
So there's
The all
that.
important
Yeah.
questions we want to know. We want to know if you'd rather be sticky or itchy. Comment down below.
Yes, please. Please comment down below.
I want to know. Okay, next one is, does Phoebe pose in person and do you pose, or sorry, do you train in person at all? So yeah, I do pose in person wherever I am in the world, wherever I am, because I'm in Dubai, UK, US multiple times. I will try and fit in time to be able to pose in-person clients. So the only way to kind of like book that in is just to reach out to me on Instagram. So if you are wanting in person and you don't know where I am in the world, just message me. But most of the time when I am in either the States, the UK, or the or Dubai or wherever I am in the world, I will try and fit in some in-person clients. So yeah, all you need to just message me and we can obviously set it up. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I have pretty much the same answer. I mean, I usually fly into shows an extra day early. Like I'll come in on a Wednesday or a Thursday morning, and that Thursday slash Friday morning, anyone that I have like clients that I have in the local area, I'll reach out to them ahead of time and be like, hey guys, like I'm in town this weekend. I know you live in Los Angeles or I know you live in Vegas or whatever. If you want to train, I'm available for a few hours this morning. So I'll do that. And then the most common for my in person is people fly here to train with me. So a lot of people will fly out to me, whether that be here in Idaho or Vegas, which is like my second home. One of those two, and I'll train people in person when they want to come fly out and train with me. So
Hmm.
that's my in person. And then I have the locally, I have a few people here that I'll train in person. A couple bikini pros here locally, and then I do have my like, I don't even know what type of clientele you want to call them, lifestyle type of clientele, but they're more on the athletic side. They want to train like bodybuilders or train like X, Y, and Z, but they don't compete. And it's kind of a nice break from all the bodybuilding talk all the time. I just get to
Yeah.
talk about other stuff. This one talks about business. This person talks about what's going on in their life. So nice hour break here and there.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one is who has the best potential long term in bikini right now? Honestly, I think Amy.
Yeah, I think so too. That
You sound
a lot
unsure.
of a lot of
Explain.
a lot of stuff comes into my head when I think of that. So when I think long term, we don't know everyone's age. Like I don't know age off the bat,
Yeah.
but I know Amy's younger, like in her late 20s roughly. So thinking long term, I think that Amy Amy is definitely in modern day the most consistent bikini competitor there is.
Mm-hmm.
She knocks off the best girls at the biggest shows. She wins New York, she wins Pittsburgh. Granted, she hasn't won the Arnold yet.
Mm.
Maybe I don't know if she's doing it this year or not. Maybe this is her year for it. But at all of the bigger regular pro shows, she wins them every single year. She beat Ashley Kay at Pittsburgh 2 years ago. She beat a really good lineup of girls at Pittsburgh this year with Ashlyn in there. So I do think she is the most consistent. I'm just waiting for her to really get one of those titles under her belt
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
me to say like that. Yeah. So she's been 3, 4, 5 years in the game where she's very consistent in winning. And once she wins an Arnold or gets like that second place at the Olympia, that's when in my head she's solidified as like I think long term she is probably the highest potential there is because she is steadily going up. Right now
Yeah.
she hasn't gone up much at Arnold slash Olympia, so that's my only hesitancy
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
That's my only
Okay.
hesitancy there. Yeah,
Yeah.
because my other answer would be Jazzy
I was
because
just about
Jazzy's
to say
young.
that. I was just about
Jazzy's
to say.
Jazzy's 29 as well. Or 30, 30, 30, I think. Something like that. She's right around there. And so longevity wise, she has around that same time frame. Actually, I think I'm way off. Jazzy's the same age as me. She's 31 or 32. But yeah, regardless. Yeah, when she was out here training with me, I think we both realized that we were both born in 93. So but either way, Jazzy's return 2 years ago after she took that time off
Yeah.
has been nothing but trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she had her third place at the Olympia after coming back and getting a first and a second in her first two pro shows back.
Yeah.
Then she went on to get third at the Olympia. Didn't have the best showing at the Arnold, but clearly that was a fluke in itself when she went and got third place at the Olympia again.
Yeah.
So her trajectory, I feel like, other than the fact that she doesn't, well, she did this season, like just now, she did back to back shows. But previously to that, Amy's the only one that really consistently goes and just keeps winning shows. So
Yeah.
when we look at resume, I think that Amy has the resume to be like, yeah, longevity wise, Amy shows out every show and beats everybody all the time.
Yeah.
Jazzy's showing that now. Back to back third place at the Olympia, and then just went and won two pro shows right after and
Yeah.
international. So I think the two of them would be my number one, my top two names in that.
And Ashlyn as well, to be fair. She's
Yes, yeah,
improved a
yeah,
lot. Like obviously she's done the Arnolds before, and obviously this year was also the time that she got top three this year.
yep,
And then obviously got second at the Olympia. Like,
yeah,
so I feel like she's going up. I mean, again, it also depends, like you said, it depends long term, like where we see these athletes going. And it also depends
yeah,
on
yeah,
what we count as the best. Because we say the best, but it's like you said, does that mean just winning shows or does that mean
yeah.
specific shows?
Yeah. So I mean, to me, it's like when we got asked who's the best bikini competitor of all time.
Yeah.
Laura Lee has three Arnolds and an Olympia title. Will likely go and get another Olympia title at some point. Is going to win another Arnold. So her resume itself in the big name shows, to me, makes her the best of all time.
Yeah.
Along with, like I said, if Jen Dory comes back and wins the Olympia again, that's three Olympia titles,
Hmm.
all in modern era, all in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So to me, that would be the best of all time. So when we're talking about the best long term, I guess a better question to put that as is out of everyone we just named, who's going to be the first one to win the Olympia?
Mm.
out of like considering the Arnold and the Olympia from this year, out of Vanya, Jazzy, Ashlyn, Amy, Maria, like that top 7 of the Olympia plus the placings at the Arnold, who out of them is going to win the next Olympia? Like what one of them are the next Miss Olympias? So I think that's who's the best, who has the best long-term projection. So, and my answer to that's tough. Like that's really tough.
Yeah.
Like I want to say Amy, but at the same time, I want to say Jazzy.
Yeah.
Because I saw what she just did. But at the same time, Ashlyn beat them all at the Olympia. So
yeah,
it's like,
and we just saw what Amy just did. We just saw what Amy just did as well at this previous show. Like this was her best look. Yeah. Like in my opinion, the two shows she's just done were her best look. So it's like, if she took that to the Olympia, would she have bumped up or won? Or we don't know because we didn't see it. But
and then you go back a few months, and just in March this year, Vanya beat all of them at the Arnold and had a questionable showing at the Olympia because she literally like nearly broke her back. Like I'm not trying to like make an excuse, but I'm just discounting that a little bit because I didn't expect a win knowing how she went into that. So looking at like, she won the Arnold, and then you have Jazzy, who's back-to-back third places with improvements in her last 2 first places since the Olympia. And then you have Ashlyn, who got second, who I'm really excited to see come out next season again. And then you have Amy, who got 4th at the Olympia. She's consistently top at the Olympia, consistently top at the Arnold, and is winning back-to-back to this upcoming weekend back shows. So it's like, it's really hard to frame.
That's hard.
Long term, I think Amy will have the best resume out of everybody when you're talking about.
Because she will, I think she will win both at some point.
Shows. Yes, I think she will. I think she'll get her Arnold win. The Olympia is such a toss-up for me. I want to see her win the Olympia for sure. Yeah. It's just a toss-up because I know who else is in the mix with her, and I don't think Jazzy's ever going to drop. Ashlyn's improving show by show. Laura Lee's going to come back with a fucking vengeance. So it's like, so who knows?
It's so hard. It's so hard. Yeah. My God.
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
Ask us in like a couple months and then we'll see again.
Yeah. Ask us when we see some like, we can make like a prediction going into the Arnold. Actually, you're not allowed to do that because if you get accepted for that, you're not allowed to. Sorry.
Yeah. It'll just be you. It will literally just be you. I'll be like, right, I want you to tell me all of this.
I'm doing the top 5 and you're just sitting there like waiting for your name. You're like, it was 6th place? Like, no, 7th place? No.
I expect you to say my name. But yeah. Okay. Best advice for post-show blues. That was one of my questions. I mean, it's hard because post-show is the hardest part. Honestly, the post-show is the hardest part. It also depends on what you mean by post-show blues. Obviously, I know a lot of people miss the physique they have from show and they want to kind of maintain that. They miss the show day. They miss the process of it. Going into an off season, sometimes for some people isn't as exciting. So that's why they get the post-show blues. There's nothing also to work towards now. There is, but there's not a specific date. That's why people get kind of, the post-show blues and upset and miss that drive towards that date, right? Like that show day. I mean, obviously you just have to flip it. And for me anyway, you flip it and you say, okay, my purpose is different now. So like your purpose now isn't to get lean and to get conditioned or whatever for stage. It's now to get better. That's always the goal anyway. Get better for stage, but get better for stage in a different way, right? So try and look at it from a different perspective, because I know some people struggle with, being lean, not being lean. I think that's the main reason why a lot of people kind of struggle in post show and in off season. But like I said, look at the purpose. Like what is your purpose now? If your feedback was, you need to grow, you need to come in more conditioned or whatever. Now you can kind of really work on those details, those finer details, and kind of say, okay, this is what I need to do. And that can be your focus versus the date. On show. I don't know. I feel like post-show is always very different for a lot of people, because a lot of people are very honed in and they're like, no excuses. I feel, my reverse is perfect. I'm seeing so many more amateurs and pros come out of their post-show so much better now than I've ever seen before. Usually back in my day when you were competing, when you were competing, a lot of people would struggle, a lot of people would struggle from, hormone imbalances. A lot of people would struggle mentally. I think now there's a lot more coaches that are so much more switched
Just
in.
gonna
There's so
say
much
that.
more clocked
Yeah.
in to taking care of their athletes post show, more than just
Yes.
it running them into the ground. Not saying that people ran like, they ran in people into the ground, but I think the mentality towards post show is very much changed now.
Yeah.
And it's evolving the athletes like massively. For some reason, I think of oh my God, what's her name? I know her because I pose her, Ali Prince. I see
Mhm.
her and like she's 16, 17 pounds above stage rate or whatever. She looks phenomenal.
Amazing.
She's eating a really decent amount and you can see the development and stuff like that. And she's really honing in on everything that
Yeah.
needs to kind of happen within her post-show kind of phase of after she's just turned pro.
Yeah.
And not saying that's how you have to be in it. And it's not that easy all the time, but
Yeah.
that's
Everyone's
a
going to be
very good
different in that regard, like you just
example.
said. Yeah. That's a great example. Like I know, um, I think a big thing too is, and it's a part some people don't want to talk about, is how did you do it your show?
Yeah.
That's a big thing that plays a role into it. And that's where a good partner, a good coach come into play, as well as the athlete being open. You have to
Hmm.
be real with yourself to an extent. I know that it's a hard pill to swallow sometimes because a lot of post show blues come from emotion. Because, like you said, there is no more goal. There's no more finish line. Like there is a goal, but there's no date to it. There's no
Yeah.
finish line. You don't come out of your show and go into a reverse in an off season and go, okay, I'm 48 weeks out now. Like
Some
that's
people
not a
do,
thing.
but
Like I mean, some
not
people
many
do,
people
but
do.
not many people do that. So you don't. Oftentimes, people don't know. Like, okay, next June I'm getting on stage again. You go into an off season knowing you need to grow, and a good coach watches you over time and sees, okay, yes, we're at a good point now where we can prep again. So coming out of shows, I feel like, and Allie's a great example. Whenever she sends me her check-in photos now, it's like she's just in such a good headspace because she went into her off season after doing her pro debut right after turning pro just to get some feedback, went into her off season with the mindset of knowing, okay, I'm pro now. I got my feedback. I know I'm small. Let's go ham this off season, and I'm going to nail everything that my coach and trainer tell me to do. And
Love
that's what
that.
she's run with. And so she, granted, kids, some people be like, I'm 17 pounds above my stage weight. Oh my God. But she's not doing that. She's like, I like how I look with this weight put on because like I'm putting it on the right areas because I'm following everything I should be.
Hmm.
I feel like some post show blues can come from people beating themselves up because they know they might have messed something up or
Hmm.
might have gone off track. Or even if you didn't go off track, maybe you had that one post show meal that just had so much sodium in it that you woke up the next day or 2 days later bloated and watery from it, and you think everything's downhill from there. Just
Hmm.
know that no matter what happens, you can be open with your partner or your coach or your trainer, and they should steer you in the right direction. Like that's why you're with the coach in the first place. So,
Exactly. You pay them for a reason. Like
yes,
you're with them for a reason. They're
yes,
there to support you, and that's how it always should be. And I think that's always I think it's always a hard one because there's you need to be no more than 10 pounds above stage weight or no more than this, and like that honestly this all depends on the person. Like always know that, like
100%.
with it when it comes to post show, everything is dependent on the person. So Ali sharing that she's on 2,500 calories or however, I don't even know if that's the right amount, but she's on a lot of calories, right?
Mhm.
That might not be the case for you now because you're not there. Like her metabolism's
Yes.
different, her muscle mass is different, like her everything about her structure is different to yours. So her being on a lot of calories right now might not be the same for you, and that is okay.
Yeah.
But it's not something you should compare yourself to be like, oh my God, like Ali's doing this. That means I need to do this. Or if you're not doing that, oh my God, why am I not there yet? Your journey is so different. And that comes to getting lean for stage as well.
Yeah.
It's everything is comparable to that as well. So don't compare yourself to what other people are doing because all you need to do is focus on what you're doing. Because I
Yeah.
even got that kind of moment the other day where I was posing, I think, when was it? Sunday. And I was like, shit, I do not feel as dense as I should be compare, like seeing how the other girls are looking, and I immediately was like, don't do this. Like, don't do this now. Like, you're really happy with how you look. Don't let like, oh, because of XYZ people, they look denser, right, than I do. So I'm worried that I'm not going to be dense enough for this year's upcoming season. That doesn't matter. Like right now, I know I've improved massively from where I was 2 years ago. That's all that matters, you know, like at
Yep.
this moment in time. So it's
100%.
hard to it's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's hard to have that mindset. It's taken years to kind of get that mentality, but you have to focus and stick to your lane for
Yeah.
sure. With post
And
show and off season.
last thing I'll touch on that, and I think we got maybe time for one more, but last thing I'll
Mm.
touch on that is when you brought up stage weight. I cannot stand anyone that wants to push out there that you should never get X amount of pounds above your stage weight. I hate that mindset because it
Yeah.
makes no sense. It realistically, factually, it makes no sense because that is an individual comment to make. If you want to say that about your top Olympian or like whoever it may be, that maybe they look absolutely perfect, their feedback is very minuscule, and you're like, yeah, I don't want to get above 10 pounds, 12 pounds, whatever it may be, but stage weight, because we don't need to go into that surplus, we don't need to add X, Y, and Z.
Hmm.
But to make that comment, like I've seen it from many coaches, many athletes put it out there. Sometimes it's a mindset thing with an athlete, and that's part of that post-show blues, or that's part of that post-show depression where people just get mind fucked because they're like, oh my God, I'm this heavy above stage weight. Who cares? Because you need to be in some sort of surplus, and not a crazy surplus. Some people grow at maintenance, right? But you have to push up to some sort of extent to put on muscle. And I hate those phrases because when you're talking about, when you're putting that out there and you have true novice girls competing, that might be someone who was a literal stick on stage. And they
Hmm.
got on stage at 110 pounds. And what would actually look good on them is them on stage at 120 pounds. So now they need to put on 10 pounds of muscle plus whatever fat that stores in their off season to be able to put on that 10 pounds of muscle. So maybe they go from 110 pounds on stage to they're walking around at 135 in their off season.
Hmm.
Is like, as long as they're comfortable at that and they are putting on the density and shape where they need to, you can factually not put a number on how much someone should be above stage weight. Because if someone
Hmm.
puts on 25 pounds in their 5-6 months post show, who's to say that they didn't need to do that? Because they were small at their first show and they literally need more delts, more glutes, more hamstrings, more everywhere. And so they need that 10 pounds of muscle, which then correlates to a little bit more fat as well. So now they're 20 pounds above stage weight. Who's to say that that's wrong when they get back on stage now, cut that fat, and now they're 10 pounds heavier on stage and they look perfect for the division? So there's no way to actually calculate how much above stage weight someone should be. It is all individual.
Yeah. Preach to that, honestly. I
Yeah.
mean, that's something I've definitely had to learn with Jamie. And like I keep saying to her, like, oh, I'm like, how many pounds or kilos above stage weight? She was like, that doesn't matter. I'm like, this
Good.
is new. This is
Yeah.
new for me. Like, this is new. And that's all I'm gonna say, but this is new. So, but it's nice for her to not be like, I don't care what your weight is. Like she's like, I don't care like what your weight is. Like it's what your physique look like. And that's the
Mhm.
main thing ultimately
Yeah,
for it, for all
100%.
of it.
And there's different types of coaches. Jamie has one of the best bikini eyes in the industry, and she will look at you and go, this is what I want to see different, or this is what I want to see budge on your physique, X, Y, and Z. And then there's some coaches that are very data driven, which is also fine. It's perfectly fine to want an athlete to do their once a week or twice a week check-ins. And I want to see your weight because I gave you a high day, or I increased your carbs this day, or whatever it may be. And I want to see how your body changes and how that correlates to the scale. And then I'm going to go back and look at what we did each day in between. Or I
Mhm.
gave you a refeed meal last night. Check in with me fasted tomorrow morning with your body weight. I want to see the difference from night to morning. Like there's things like that where people will collect that data and that will help them with their preps. But putting an actual numerical value on how much is okay versus not okay to grow
Mhm.
or to gain is wrong. To want scale weight, no problem at all. That's all day long if people want to do that. But to like say, no, you shouldn't be 20 pounds up, 30 pounds up, it's completely individual. It's just wrong to
Yeah,
say.
it really is. Yeah. Well, I'm happy to end on that one. That was a really good
Yeah,
question, to
no,
be
that's great.
fair.
Yeah,
So,
that was a great question.
And we will answer some more questions obviously next week. Like if anyone has any more questions and stuff like that on like and you're watching on YouTube, comment down below. We're more than happy to answer. And we'll probably hopefully, because there's only 2 shows this coming weekend, obviously to review, we'll probably have more time to answer more questions for next week's episode. So comment down below, make them good, make them random, make them funny, make them whatever you want them to be. We want this platform to just ask us anything and we can give you the answers or our experience, I guess. So
100%.
right. Have
Thanks,
a good
everyone.
rest of your week. And yeah, we'll speak to you all soon.